right, guys, I think we are going live. So happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome to the Lenka and Duck show. I guess we just got a new show going on. Anyway, it's a lovely Sunday evening here in Southern California, and we are broadcasting live. So if you are replaying this on YouTube or any other channel, we always give a few moments for people to tune in. We are doing this live, so this is not scripted, this is not edited, this is just doing live as it is. So welcoming you all. We will give it a few moments for people to have an opportunity to tune in. Let us know what's going on in your part of the world. Like we said, we are here in Southern California, and we will be talking about a special subject today, and we are bringing you some news about law, so you know your rights, you know what's going on, and specifically if you are on California, some important things that you shall know. So without any further delay, tonight we will be talking about something that's been actually a matter of public record here on California for over 61 years. But before we get into that, because it wasn't really broadcasted by the mainstream media, they just quietly shushed it under the carpet. They didn't want you to know, how lovely of our public servants, right, to do things like that. Who would ever think about them doing something like that? They are so honest, they are serving us, right? They are doing so well for us, taking care of us, so who would ever think? But anyway, before we get into that, what they don't want you to know on a purpose, we will be talking about the California Constitution, 1879, and specifically Article 6, Section 9. And if you don't believe us, anything we are telling you, please do your research. So between Duck and I, we probably have maybe 50 years of research and searching for truth and connecting dots and actually testing it. So you are more than welcome to do your research, spend 50 years doing that. But if you like to really dive into the summaries, dive into the facts and the truths that will probably rock your world, well, you are on the right channel. And for any of those trolls who like to just throw the stones at people, go ahead and find a better channel like the mainstream media. It's out there that's perfect for you. So for all those truth seekers and the people who like to live in the truth, they like to be informed, we are looking at the Constitution, Article 6, Section 9. And the one, I actually pulled it on a screen. We have it right in front of us. And the website, you can look up at any different websites. The one we will be reading this off is called findlaw.com. So if you put in your search engine the California Constitution, Article 6, Section 9, this is what's going to come up, and this is what's going to read. So it reads, let me scroll down so I can read it to you. So Article 6, Section 9 of the California Constitution reads, the State Bar of California is a public company. Every person admitted and licensed to practice law in this state is and shall be a member of State Bar except while holding office as a judge of a court of record. So let me repeat it. The State Bar of California is a public corporation, and every person admitted and licensed to practice law in this state is and shall be a member of the State Bar except while holding office as a judge of a court of record. So, Doug, what does that really say? What does it really mean? Can you explain to us?
Well, what they did was they came in and used the Constitution of 1879 to create a public corporation, which was banned by the 1849 Constitution, because the Constitution states that you cannot create a public corporation through a constitutional act.
Yeah, so what this means is that when America, when we declared our independence from the British ruling, right, from King George, we the people declared that we are free men and women, that all men are created equal, and we are endowed by our Creator with our unalienable rights, right? So every state had its own constitution. So California had its own constitution called the 1849 Constitution. That's the organic constitution. So that what happened? Like how can we now have 1879 Constitution? What happened really?
Well, what happened was in 1860, Abraham Lincoln became a president, which he couldn't hold the office due to having a title of nobility. So from there on out, everything was basically null and void. And after about 10 years of operating like that, Washington, D.C., oh man, the heck's the name of it?
The Virginia
Company, right, contracted to become the United States Corporation, the District of Columbia, and provide 19 essential services until we could self-govern again.
Right.
Okay, and so each one of the states was told to change their constitutions into basically a corporate charter, because what happened was they changed the actual status and standing of the people without their knowledge and consent by making them registered voters or 14th Amendment citizens in order to participate. So the only people that participated, actually not people, the only 14th Amendment citizens participated in the ratification of the 1879 Constitution, and the people of the state of California, the actual Californians and electors, free electors, didn't get a chance to vote, and the ones that tried to vote were tricked into becoming registered voters under the 14th Amendment and signing away. I mean, it was just another way to enslave them. And so, you know, all of that was an Ultra Vires Act, but each one of the states changed their constitution, and they changed the free electors into registered voters, 14th Amendment citizens, or basically chattel. All right, and once you did that and you participated in their corporate elections, well, then you basically acquiesced to anything that the corporation did.
Okay, so let's capture this. This is very important for I want people to really get this. So when when you get all the papers in the mail and it's asking for your vote, basically people are not what they think they are. You are registered voter for the corporation, where basically you are subject to the corporation. You are considered a property of the corporation.
Look, what happens is, okay, you have these corporations that have come in and tried to pretend like they're the original government, okay? And through semantic deceit and through the bar members, okay, through the so-called attorneys, right? They came in and usurped our government. There's not a corporation or a business or anything anywhere that's going to make a move without talking to an attorney. So they can steer things the way that they want it to go, because they basically rule the place. And who else gets paid a sum like they charge, no matter what kind of job they do? They can do a shitty job and still charge you. You know, most of them do. But anyway, where this comes together is the 1879 Constitution was an Ultra Vires Act, okay?
What does that mean?
It means it was act in excess of the powers and authority that was delegated to them by we the people, okay? Nowhere in our original 1849 Constitution did it say that they could create a public corporation. As a matter of fact, it said no public corporation could be created by an act except a municipality. They were very specific about that, okay? And in Arizona versus Bridegroom, the Arizona court came up with the same conclusion. The bottom line is the Bar Association in California, right, was created by the 1879 Constitution, Article 6, Section 9, okay? So in November 8th, 1960, the 1879 Constitution for the state of California was repealed. by ballot pamphlet number 12, okay? And what that means is that it was put on the ballot and people voted on it to repeal the effective date that that Constitution took place, okay? Now, if you repeal the effective date that the Constitution took place, it never took place. And if it never took place, it doesn't exist, okay? Except in some fictional corner of the mind of these people that are still operating under it, even though it's been repealed for 61 years, okay? That's where this constructive fraud comes in. And you say, how do I know it's been repealed for, well, I don't know if you can read this, but that's ballot pamphlet number 12, right there.
And guys, you can
Okay.
research it.
And you can stop and freeze this and read the little writing, get your magnifying glasses out, Team Skeptic. And right here on page 15, right here in the corner, let me see.
It's highlighted.
Yep, it's highlighted.
So hopefully, guys, you can see it. All right.
Right there. See, it's got a line drawn through it. That means it was repealed. Okay? That's the effective date that the 1879 Constitution took effect. That means it never took effect, people. Okay? It means it repealed the whole Constitution. All right? And if you've got a third grade reading, a grade reading level, you should be able to see this and look it up and find out that everything we're saying is true. Okay? So this means that if you get on the internet and you look up right now what California uses, okay, for their scope of authority, okay, and you'll see they use the 1879 Constitution still as their scope of authority. What this means is that all these cops, all you cops out there, all you highway patrol, all you sheriffs, all of you law enforcement that have oaths of offices and everything, right? You're going to become liable for your actions here in a minute, because the scope of authority to actually create these so-called private corporate policies you call statutes, codes, regulations, and ordinances, and to apply and enforce them upon the people, it was repealed 61 years ago, okay, on November 8, 1960, and it's a matter of public record, okay? So anything you put with my name on it that accuses me of a crime or a violation of something that was repealed before I was even born is called liable, and I'll own your house, your car, and anything else you want to put up.
Because basically what happened is, so I think, you know, there are a lot of people who want to do the right thing, right? But I want you, all public servants, to know that the moment you take an oath of office, you are taking fiduciary responsibility for the people, to serve the people. And the only and one reason to do that is to uphold and defend the Constitution, right? The Constitution that secures our unalienable God-given rights, that our rights will not be impeded on the highways, freeways, roadways, sideways, anywheres, that you will be the protector of our rights that been secured to us. And you know, the fact is that, you know, your principles are literally making you to commit constructive fraud, to be part of criminal organization. And, you know, ignorance of the law is not an excuse, especially when you are law enforcement, especially when you are supposed to be a lawyer who is helping someone to defend them, to protect their rights. So I just like to say this, that this is very important. You know, this is a learning time of where we are learning all about this fraud. But like I said, you know, ignorance is a choice in today's age of information. This is why we are doing these videos, and we are not the only ones. And it's a matter of public record that this corporate charter 1879 Constitution has been repealed. And so it's very important that all of you that are listening are sharing this important knowledge, teaching your children, teaching your parents, your friends, your spouses, your co-workers, that all these statutes, codes, and ordinances are null and void. So if you are traveling peacefully on the road, you don't injure anyone, and someone out of nowhere is pulling you and creating false report of emergency, well, now you know that they automatically are disqualified from the job of holding that office as a public servant. And Doc, you have more information on this.
Yeah, I just, all these people get paid all this money, right, to do these investigations and shit, right? Well, check it out, all right? All you got to do is go to Duns and Bradstreet, and for my county, San Luis Obispo County of, all right, and get their Duns report. It's right here. See, San Luis Obispo County of. See what it says right down here? See, it says legal, right there, Corporation U.S., okay? Corporation U.S. It says it's a corporation right there on its Duns report, okay? Now, let me show you something else, because I sent a Public Records Act request right here under, if you look right there, NULL Corporation. I mean, I don't believe you're a corporation. So I asked him for 6 things. I asked him for a copy of corporate charter creating County of San Luis Obispo. I asked him for California Secretary of State certified record evidencing the application form and identifying applicants founding County of San Luis Obispo Corporation. 3, documentation of registration and assignment of corporate identifier assigned by the Secretary of State's Office for California to County of San Luis Obispo Corporation. 4, identification of all board members, stakeholders, managers, and employers associated to County of San Luis Obispo Corporation. 5, application to the United States Treasury and its Internal Revenue Service for the obtaining of corporate tax identifier that County of San Luis Obispo corporate publicly operates under. And 6, public record authorization from the people of San Luis Obispo County voting, actual ballot initiative, and vote tabulations, certified records to alter the original form of public trust governments to that of a corporation to provide governmental services in lieu of the republic, form of government required by the California United States of America Constitution. Okay?
So now let me ask you.
Wait a minute. So I sent this to him, certified mail. It was served, signed by 3 witnesses with thumbprints. It's all right there. Okay? Now, knowing that their credit report specifically says legal form, Corporation U.S., they got an EIN number I could read you. But I got a thing sent via USPS certified mail from their county council. Okay? Right here, county council. Right? That's from their head lawyers, right? Asking them for this stuff, they responded to it. The County of San Luis Obispo County is in receipt of your Public Records Act request, which was received on February 22nd, 2022. The request is to your Public Record Act request received on January 14th, 2022. Yeah, I don't give up. The county replied to that request by certified mail on January 24th, 2022. In the request, you seek various documents related to the county's status as a corporation. The county is not a corporation. It is a legal subdivision of the state of California. As such, the county does not have any documents responsive to requests 1 through 6. Okay. So I got them telling me from their highest counsel, their legal team, okay, at this corporation, right, that says they're a corporation on Duns and Bradstreet, all right, telling me they're not a corporation and they don't have all the documentation that it requires for them to be a corporation. So let me ask you something, officers, right? Due diligence. If I've got 2 pieces of paper here, one of them where they're accessing a classification through a business that allows them to access credit due to a score based on a false claim that they're a corporation. And they're utilizing that score to pay people like you to come and create agencies and you agents to harass me and eke out my substance. That's tyrannical acts. Okay? And that's called constructive fraud. You can look it up. Okay? It's the very definition of constructive fraud, and I just showed it to you in black and white. Okay? I'm filing complaints and everything else on it. I hope everybody that's listening
And
to it starts doing it too.
exactly. This is very important that you start by learning what is your county and how does your county function. What you will find out that every county is actually very same. That they turn themselves into corporations, but yet they are claiming that they are legal subdivisions. So now,
But they have crime insurance policies like a corporation, and they have excess insurance policies with underwriters that you can go after.
What does that mean, Doug? So explain that, because why do they have these criminal insurance policies? Because this, guys, you will find is very exciting actually, because that's the golden ticket. This is where you really get to them, because these are your so-called public servant, right? So they are to serve to you because you are paying them. They hold the fiduciary responsibility under the supreme law of the land, and they are being paid for that. So what does it mean? Why do they need to have this criminal insurance?
Well, because a corporation cannot act in commerce without liability insurance. They're corporations. If they were the real republic, they would have to have bonds on file, which they put up their property, their private property, as liability under the bonds. Because you put up everything that you have when you sign that oath. That's your liability policy. That's your fidelity insurance right there, because you say you'll serve with fidelity.
So
Okay?
now, what happens when these public servants that might trespass on a living man and woman? What happens when they step outside their limited authority that was given to them by us, we the people? What happens?
Well, the problem is most people don't understand this. Most people don't realize that these are corporations. Most of the cops that are doing this don't realize that they're a corporation. Even the sheriffs are a sheriff's department. They're incorporated. They were created by these corporations. And so these corporations pay you with Federal Reserve notes, people. Okay? That's private script. Okay? So that's private money. So you eat off of private plates. So who the hell are you really working for?
Serving.
Okay?
Yep.
Who are you serving for? You serve who feeds you. Okay? You're being fed by the bankers to attack us. Okay? Most people don't really understand who they are or what tools they have at their disposal to deal with that. Okay? So we're here to kind of let them know. Just like showing you, you know what, check it out. When the 1879 Constitution was repealed, right? Okay? Let's use some common sense. Okay? So if the California Bar Association was created by Article 6, Section 9 of that same California Constitution, right? All right? And it was repealed. That repealed the Bar Association's existence. So how come for the last 61 years you've had these people out here advertising to sell their services when they don't lawfully exist? They were repealed. I think that's constructive fraud. So I think you should be able to go after every attorney that you ever hired all the way back to November 8, 1960 and recoup what they stole from you through their defective service by serving their brothers and selling you out, because that's what happened in their private court.
And there are cases and after cases where people paid, thousands and thousands of dollars to be basically represented, to be, in hopes to be protected, right? And they just got railroaded. And gosh, this is just heartbreaking. But guys, this is exciting times. You have remedy. You have remedy, and justice will be served, but you also need to start learning these tools, and that you have rights, and that this information is out there. Just think about it, right? So this has been on public record, matter of public record for over 61 years, since November 8, 1960.
Not only that, there was a $190 million
That's
judgment
right.
awarded to Scientology back in February 2nd, 1998 in LA County.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's been in the court records since then.
So it's already settled.
So I mean,
right?
it's already done and over with. It's just they hid it from everybody.
So repeat it again for the record. So what was the case, so people can use that case law?
It was a Scientology case in February 2nd, 1998. where they got $190 million judgment based upon the fact that the California Constitution of 1879 wasn't legitimate, it had been repealed.
So what this means is very important. So any of these codes, statutes, regulations, like the mask law, or like someone is trying to close your business, or any of these codes.
Here's the deal on this.
It's null and void.
No, it's look. What you got to understand is, in order for these people to do something, okay, they got to have the authority to do it. They've got to been given the authority by we the people, okay? And so what you call the scope of authority, all right? So they created this 1879 Constitution that created this bar association, that created this corporation, that created all these Mickey Mouse private corporate policies that they tried to pass off like they were really laws, okay? And if you go look at the enacting clause for all of the laws, it has to have an enacting clause. The original one out of the 1849 Constitution was the people of California represented in Senate and Assembly do and act as follows, right? And then in 1911, they changed it, okay? It changed it to we the people of California do and act as follows, okay? So they quit being representative of the people. They quit representing us. They just claimed to be the people of the state of California and the kings and queens above us, okay? And it's all right there in black and white if people know what they're looking for. I mean, I can't say anything about it. Look, I've been doing this for 20-something years, and I just found out about it a while back, right? But it's like, what you got to understand is all of these police out here, these policy enforcement agents, these corporate mercenaries, all right? They're enforcing stuff with the scope of authority that's been repealed. So everything they do against you is a trespass. And if they put their name on it and they say that you violated one of these so-called statutes, codes, or ordinances, right, since November 8th, 1960, they've been null and void. Okay, that's called liable. They're putting your name on a false document. Okay, you can sue them for that. All right. So I mean, what happens is you don't have to comply, right, with any of this crap. Okay, you need to go back to the 1849 California Constitution and see what the real laws were then, and we were under common law. And under common law in the Republic, it means that we can go out here and do whatever the hell we want, as long as we don't trespass on somebody else's rights or their property or cause them harm. Okay.
And like what you were saying, Doug, that because I just like to recap, because this is brand new information for many people, right? So you touch on the base of what happened in 1911. When the people of California, like the living men and women, stopped being represented, and it became the people of California or Nevada or New Jersey. And the way how you know is when you get served any papers from the court, right, you will see that it's the people of California versus you, right? And so you need to start really paying attention, because what do they mean, the people of California?
And this is the state of California.
The people of the state of California, right? And this is how they did it. So people stopped being represented, but they took it as they are the people.
Yeah, they represented themselves because they claimed to be the people of California, and that they formed their own little clique, and we weren't invited.
Right. And so if you've been into their kangaroo courts, you will know that these prosecutors, they say, well, we the people of the state of California, we recommend this or that. I'm like, well, where are the people? I want all the people to be here, right? What are you talking about? So this is really applying the common sense, and start really realizing who we are and who they are. That their authority, limited authority, comes from us, we the people. And this is the time when we are learning what